Welcome back to Walls of Horror. I'm horror author Charlie Walls, and today I am going to talk about my latest read, and that is the fantasy / SF book, The Shadow of the Torturer. This is book 1 in the Book of the New Sun series by Wolfe. My next read will be The Claw of the Conciliator. This is book 2, and these have just great cover art. And so this is, I recently got the first 4 books in the Book of the New Sun series at a book haul. This is my first read through. I had heard that they're very difficult to get through, and I had read previously a few Gene Wolfe short stories. I do not believe, unless I'm grossly misremembering, I do not believe that I had ever read a Gene Wolfe novel before. So, Shadow of the Torturer, what is it about? Well, this is where I'm at right now. You're not exactly sure. This is on Earth in presumably the very far future, but possibly the very far past. And there is a very like fantasy type society with science fiction elements. And so there are many guilds in society, and our main character Severian. Now, as soon as I say a weird word, I forget how to say it. He is a member of the Torturers Guild. And so the Torturers Guild is headquartered in a huge building called the Citadel, a huge metal building called the Citadel, in a massive city titled Nessus. I believe Nessus is how I always said it. Nessus, maybe. But he, I'm not going to give everything away, but I'm going to give away the main plot point that happens about halfway through. So this book is actually being retold to us by Severian later in life. So we know that he does survive, and that he does go on, and he has actually come into a place of prominence, is my belief from the way he's telling the story. So at about the midway point, he has fallen in love with a female client, she is a lady who is to be tortured until it's time to execute her. She's to be tortured for a certain amount of time, and he leaves a dagger with her in her cell so that she can kill herself, and she does. So as punishment for this, the guild members, there's a debate whether to kill him, to torture him, or dismiss him, or whatever. For political reasons, they do not want to do that stuff. It would look bad to all of their other clients who are paying them, or from the government who's paying them to torture or execute people. It would look really bad on them if people within their guild were you were not getting what you paid for, right? If you were offing people too soon, or if you were releasing people. And so having this news come out that a torturer had done this would be a black mark on the guild. So what they actually do is they banish him to a faraway province called Thrax, that they need a local executioner. So he's basically going to be a headsman at this much smaller province, and he's turned loose from the guild to walk to the province. And so the second half of the book is him basically still wandering around the city, Nessus, something like that, and meeting different people, making friends, making enemies, sort of being tricked into doing a duel, almost dying, meeting multiple women. And at the very end of the book, we see him leaving these huge, massive gates that encircle Nessus. And again, when I'm saying huge, as far as the city goes, I mean, this is at least how I understood it, and what I thought is like the size of a state, almost a state-sized city. Maybe not a huge one like Texas or even the state that I live in, but Like if you were going to walk across it, I mean, it would take like many days to cross the city. It was my understanding from the telling. And so for the second half, I said the first half, we're learning about the Torturers Guild, his friends in the Torturers Guild, rules, rituals. We're seeing what he does as he progresses. Then he commits the act of mercy, and then he's turned loose, and now he's wandering the city, and this is a really cool POV. I like how Gene Wolfe told it. I've heard that these books were really difficult. I'm guessing that a lot of that comes like later. There was really no point in this that I wasn't pretty sure what was going on. A lot of times with like big fantasy or science fiction worlds, it'll be told from the point of view of an outsider, and so you can have other characters explain facets of the world to this outsider character, and it doubles as being able to explain it to the reader. So he's a bit of both. He knows a good bit about the guild, but there is also some secrets that he learns along the way. He has minimal knowledge of the city. He knows a few areas that they were able to frequent when they had downtime or in the evenings, then when they would sneak out. But there is a lot about the culture and about the world outside that he doesn't know, so we see him learning about that. It's very interesting. Like I said, it's a bit of both. Nothing is really explicitly explained, and I suppose that can make it more difficult. And I'm going to give you a very dumb example, but there are definitely better ones than this, and that would be the word. Like at one point, him and this girl are like waving down it's a carriage basically. It's the word that they use it starts with an F. It's like FICEASE or something like that, or something. It's a made up fantasy word, which is something that you kind of learn to deal with in fantasy and SF. Now again, never says, it never describes it. There's a wheel with spokes and it's pulled by. There's another word for animal. It doesn't say like ox or horse or anything like that. But they get in it, and these animals are pulling them across the city. So through context, without any explanation or description, you kind of learn that this is basically a carriage, right? If you're in like medieval London and you wave down like a horse carriage or some medieval London, like Victorian London or something like that. And so there are a lot of things like that, including like important guilds and factions within the city and within the world, and same with customs and everything else. And so I could see why that would be a little bit difficult to read, but nothing was really so far out of context that I couldn't follow the plot. I couldn't follow what he was doing. So again, I'm expecting that the thing that makes this series so difficult to read that I've heard, I expect that to be coming up. Another thing I suppose that might make it difficult is it is a meandering novel. It is meandering around. We meander around through the day-to-day life of a torturer until we get to his crime, and then we meander around the city with Severian after that. It's not particularly plot heavy. I don't know how later books will be, but I really like the voice. I really like the way it's written. I could see a lot of authors that I read and that I like that I would not want to meander around the city for 200 pages with. I'm happy to do that with Gene Wolfe and with Severian, the main character. So again, like I said, the tone, the way it's written, you really get a good feel for Severian's voice. The world is very interesting, and like I said, because of the way it's told, it unfolds in an interesting way. So even though it's not really plot heavy and sort of meandering, I did not mind meandering along with them. I do not want to go into like too many like plot points or like story beats or details of here or there. Like I said, I found it exciting. I like all the side characters. I feel like Gene Wolfe has done a great job crafting these characters, And then Severian, like I said, he's writing all this as a memoir later. So he does a good job of telling it too. And I am excited to read The Claw of the Conciliator. I'll start it within at least the next couple days. I may read a couple short stories, or maybe even play some video games for a couple days. So yeah, have you read this? Have you read the whole series? Is there something that I need to watch out for? Something I need to be worried about? Is it going to get a lot more difficult coming up? Is there something that if I missed in this first book that it will make the rest of the books a lot harder? Again, I know a lot more people have a lot more experience with these books than I do. So please, I appreciate any help or comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs down, all the good YouTube stuff. Also, I am a horror author. I do post free horror short stories to my Substack. I'll put the link down below. Later this year or early next year, I will have a short story collection come out, and I will definitely have more details on that when that comes about. But either way, that wraps up this Shadow of the Torture video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.